What is good, homies? This is Chris from the Small Hat Crew, joined today by Small Hat Nick.
Hello.
And Small Hat Garen.
Hello.
We have a very, I was gonna say last minute, but it's the opposite. Well, we have an update that just dropped last minute. It is 1 a.m. as we are recording right now, so we are on top of this. We have, would this be considered an emergency ban list? Because I think that, like,
yes, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
okay. All right, so we'll just go ahead and jump right into this one, because we have a hell of a hot topic right now. There has been a new ban list dropped for One Piece. Everybody in the Small Hat Discord, I pinged out all of you, so you all already know by the time you see this. But we have 3 new cards that have been banned. So this one's, people like to argue, no, it's a limited list. Only 1 card's been limited, 3 cards have been outright banned. Those 3 cards being Searcher Nami from OP01, Whitebeard Leader from OP02, Dedan Searcher from OP02, and 5-drop Marker from OP03. All right,
Marco
so
was restricted, not banned. But
right.
yes.
My fault. I said we had 1 limited card. I didn't tell them which it was. And yes, Marco has been restricted. So
we went from having 2 banned cards, being Kabaji and the boat, Moby Dick, to now having 5 banned cards. 4 of them are red.
Yes, we officially have 8 cards on the list, 7 of which are red cards. So let's talk about it. I think we start. We
So
start
9 on the ban list, 8 are red.
Oh, and the craziest thing about this list too is, so all these cards have joined the list. Nothing is coming off. This list goes into effect November 10th, right?
Yes.
All right, this list goes into effect November 10th. All these new cards join the list. Nothing is coming off. Ninebeard is staying on the list. Marco Blocker stays on the list. What else joined at that time?
Radical Beam.
Radical Beam stays on the list as it. Honestly, at this point, I think it could come off. It could come off the list probably. All the red decks. It might. I don't know. It might be too early to say, but red's looking dead. Red is
dead. Red is 100%
okay. So I'll go ahead and say right off rip, because there's 2 very different ways to look at this list. If you were just tired of the same dominant red decks winning all the events, of us being in a Whitebeard meta since OP02 and Zoro and Law being the top tier decks, then you probably love this list. This was probably a very, very good list for you, because it does address all of the problem repeat offenders that have just been consistently performing. However, if you were playing one of those decks, you probably fucking hate this list. It's probably yeah. This is yeah. Like Trevor,
This might be
you're having a panic attack in bed right now.
This might be your reason to quit the game. Like,
God.
this is some people's reasons to exactly quit the game. Like,
I feel
100%.
so bad for Trevor, because my man was a Zoro player, that he jumped to Whitebeard. Whitebeard has been banned outright. Zoro has been gimped. Last I played against him, he was experimenting with Law. Law got hit in this list too. He caught a stray. Like, oh my god. So let's just first talk about, like, the fact that Nami and Dedan were not limited. They were just banned outright. I think that's fucking crazy. That is absurd.
100%.
It's really wild. I thought they wouldn't ban searchers.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 them, limit them to 2 or something like that, like a semi-limited, like they have limited, semi-limited, but straight up gone is crazy.
Yeah, I think that is such overkill. I don't think that's ever. Because it's. How powerful would it have been for you to put, like, because the Nami at the end of the day, you don't even really know what she's gonna do before you can play her. You've banned a card that could just whiff potentially, even. Like, it's so crazy, because I don't think it would have been too crazy to let her run around at 1, you know. And I think even 1 might have been like a bit much. I think she should have gone to like 2 realistically.
Yes, I was thinking 2. I was thinking 2 the whole time.
Honestly, too, because it's like Nami isn't a problem. Because at the end of the day, she's just utility. She's searching cards from a toolbox. So long as the tools aren't broken, the Nami isn't broken. So you would just address the cards that she's grabbing, would be the thing. But no, Nami's gone. Nami's been banned. So that is fucking abysmal for pretty much every red deck ever. Because the Straw Hat toolbox is like the best toolbox red had. And it's crazy too, because the only red decks that saw it play are the ones that got hit. There was also Ace. Ace lost 5-drop Marco. So Ace also caught a stray in this. Ace is gone. That only leaves leaders like what? Mono red Luffy, red Uta, and red green Luffy. Is that it?
Ace exists, but no.
2 of those leaders were never good. One of them hasn't been good since OPO2, arguably OPO3. And this is another thing I find crazy. So not only did all those cards go on the list and nothing's coming off, why is Ninebeard staying on the list? Who are they afraid of abusing it? Whitebeard, who climbed to 8K with it, is banned. That man is gone. Zoro stopped running Ninebeard before he even got hit. And even if he didn't, Zoro, I don't think they're even in a state to be able to afford to play Ninebeard anymore.
Oh, definitely not.
Law has never touched Ninebeard. So are they afraid of fucking Luffy dropping Ninebeard on people? Because I can reassure you, if Whitebeard dies, Luffy's not seeing play.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
Luffy's not seeing. Luffy's best matchups were Whitebeard, who is banned, Law, who's been hit, and Zoro, who has been hit. The only reason you played Luffy, all the problem decks he dealt with are gone. So you're not afraid of Luffy running Ninebeard. You're sure as fuck not afraid of Uta running Ninebeard. And I think running Ninebeard in red green Luffy might just be suicide. And then Garp. And then there's Garp.
I was waiting for you to say Garp.
Oh
this whole time I'm like, where's he at? Where's he at?
Ninebeard can come off the list. There's a lot. I think Ninebeard could have came off the list. I think Marco Blocker could have came off the list. Because Marco Blocker had to discard Whitebeard Pirates to revive himself. And you're not running that package anymore. You're just not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Give us your thoughts on this, Nick.
Bro, it's just like I literally just sold my collection, and I assume it probably could not have been better time with all the red
Yeah.
cards I had in there.
It is.
Like I swear to God, Bandai is speedrunning killing this game because this is just
Killing the
absolutely
game.
horrendous.
That's a bit much.
Because
'Cause-
what we're going to see after this is it's going to be nothing but Blelo Queens, Katakuris, Big Moms. Red just doesn't exist in this format anymore. Red is gone.
Blue Croc.
It's out the door. It's dead. You're going to have bullshit Blue Croc. Oh, red, black, blue. Rebecca's also dead because that deck played favorably into red. It's just absolutely insane. They would just kill off a color.
Now, I will say... No, go for it.
Oh, so go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because right now, because just based off of our previous meta, the only other decks that were able to compete in a meta like that were decks like Katakuri, Blelo Queen, and Rebecca. So those are the safe bets that we expect to see be top tier. But there's also a big part of this that we can't even really predict. There could be other leaders that do show their face now that were being held back by the red leaders. There were probably leaders with bad matchups that weren't viable, and now they are.
Brother,
So we
you're gonna
can't even
cook
really
more Rebecca or Cope Vivi.
I don't know about that, but like Isho, for example, maybe Isho might finally be playable. Who knows?
Hey, his whole problem was he was slow. No. His whole thing was he was slow and he had time to build up. Now that Red's kind of
But all of the decks that his problem in red was red is aggro, but all of the other decks that are in the format, blue and yellow will heal itself because again, 10-drop mom is uncontested. 10-drop mom is just absolutely toxic to this game. And it's going to be horrendous.
Well, let's not fixate on Isho.
And then blue is just going to remove board between 3000 Worlds, Mihops, and Red Rocks.
Because I was gonna say, because let's
nothing's
not.
going to stick for them to be able to build up the minus cost to remove your board.
I was gonna say, let's not fixate on Isho, because I was just using him as an example of there are leaders that had bad matchups that weren't playable before. Because remember, there were leaders that are now that some of their worst matches have been taken out of the game. Like Z, for example, no longer has to deal with Zoro. So
True.
Z is maybe he could potentially be viable. Who knows? There's no way to really know for certain. Kinemon has lost Whitebeard. Kinemon could potentially be viable. Like we can't really we can go based off like what leaders we knew were already good that will still be good because they were not touched by this. But there is so much like other variants and other factors to consider too. Like we could end up in just like we're obviously gonna be in a new meta, but we could potentially be seeing new leaders.
It's also absolute bullshit that this is just in English. Again, Japan's ban list is 2 cards. It's Kabaji and it's Boat. They don't have a single other card on the ban list.
They don't. God.
And now I have a pre-order for 4 starter decks that have banned cards in them.
That's what I find crazy. So we have Nami getting a reprint. That's going to be unplayable off rip. So that's a bit weird. All of the prize cards, the Jozu, the Ninebeard,
The
not-
Whitebeard,
the Ninebeard's
yeah.
limited, the Marco is
Both
limited,
Marcos.
the Jozu's fine.
Just
But it's
unplayable.
pointless if
His-
the deck is dead.
Literally, the only way he was getting Rush was off of either Ace or a leader that is now banned. So even the Jozu has been caught in this. Like, I don't know. There was probably a better way to go about. I do think Whitebeard had to be banned. I do think, because I've been saying for a while, I think Whitebeard should be banned.
I
But the
agree
thing
with Whitebeard
too,
being banned, but then they should have brought everything back and also banned non-leader, so that way Blue could have actual real support.
actually, I was gonna say also because like I think Ninebeard being banned was the solution, but I think that was the solution like 2 sets ago. Like, I think like if we go into OPO5 and Ninebeard doesn't or Whitebeard doesn't come off the list, I think that'll be crazy. Because he's competing with leaders like Poofy, Purple Luffy, and Black Blue Sakazuki. So it's crazy to me that they waited so long to finally address him because he's gonna be on there for like 2 months and then he won't be a problem anymore. Law also, it's crazy too because like all these leaders are finally being hit right before they finally fall off. Like Bandai
I don't
was
think
so
Law
late.
fell off in Japan, but it's crazy. This is all happening like before Nats season because Nats happens
Yeah.
in like the next 3 months.
And what does that mean for like Worlds? Like, will this be reversed by then, or
Who
like?
knows? Because this
Yeah, I
could
don't
even
know if Bandai
potentially
card games
be
will or not,
reversed
no.
come OPO5. You know?
They really just want to get rid. That would be such a weird ban list just to get rid of him for what, all of 2 months to just bring him back.
Well, I think the
That
problem
feels
too
weird.
is because like I think if they do that, that'd be weird. But it wouldn't surprise me if Bandai just left him on the list. It wouldn't surprise me if they did some Yu-Gi-Oh shit where they just kept Stratos on the list for a decade, even though he'd be fine to come off. Like, just because the players are so scarred. And all the backlash of, oh my god, you're on banning Whitebeard when he's no longer even playable. But
True, I get that, but like it was because like in Japan, like never got banned and he fell off entirely.
Yeah,
and I know we
that's-
play on different metas. Like it would just be such a weird thing just for him
Yeah.
to be banned for these 2 months to come back, and no one's playing him in the meta because we have other things that are much better and can keep up with him.
yeah, especially with him falling off at full power even. Because he's even nerfed here in the West. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then Bandai just says on their Twitter post again, they announced this via Twitter and via Facebook. There was no update to the official site yet. They said that this ban is for a more enjoyable user experience. What whiners are they listening to? What complainers are out there that made them say, we're just outright banning?
You do have to like keep
Meta
in mind
red decks.
though that those players like card games are carried off the back of like the casual. The casual is like 95% of the player base.
Yes. Like the casuals can control just about anything in these games.
Yeah.
Because they have to sell. They're not trying to sell to like you and me. Because like we might not just even buy product. We might just get singles and never buy sealed product.
Yeah, the
at any
competitive
point.
players are usually
But, like,
buying singles. Because if you want to be a thriving card game, you have to satisfy
the
the casuals. Whales aren't enough to keep a game afloat. It is the minute you lose the casuals, your game dies.
Yes.
So realistically, like this list, I think financially, this was probably the best thing Bandai could have done. Address all 3 of those leaders, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm excited as a Blurple Crocodile player because I think Mono Croc is probably. I think Mono Blue Croc might be. Well, actually, I think Katakuri is our new best deck. I think
sure.
Mono Croc is also really fucking good right now. Blurple Crocodile has an amazing Mono Croc matchup. Terrible Katakuri matchup though. So I don't. This is actually.
Is this? I
I'm
think
not
because we're
happy.
gonna see more. We're gonna see far more Katakuri now. Like
You're gonna
a
see so
lot
much
of
more
people are gonna
Katakuri.
move to Katakuri.
Why the fuck
So-
didn't they? If they were gonna do something like kill off red as a color, why didn't 10 drop mom hit the list?
100% that card needs to be on the list.
10 drop mom should be on the list. Like, if you are going to make it so that all the decks that compete with Katakuri can no longer challenge him, you should also preemptively be hitting him in the process. Like the same way they hit Kabaji in preparation for Nami not to go wild, that's what they should have done. Because Katakuri is going to be so fucking stupid now, and that leader's already annoying enough as it is. God. This also does mean that, like, now we could also potentially see leaders like, you know, Yellow Big Mom seeing play as well and stuff like that. So there's going to be, it's going to breathe a lot of life into the game. There's going to be a lot more variety and stuff like that. Honestly, maybe not actually, because Katakuri previously, while he was being kept in check by Red, he was the casual gatekeeper. And he's just going to do that even harder now.
Yep, so just every other color, full power, besides Nami, of course, because that degenerate shit. I don't know, dude. I'm not a fan.
He kind of addressed everything right then and there because it's just... Red is dead. Like, the thing is, like, with Newgate gone now, Zoro has to adapt. And I don't even know what Zoro would do because it lost its one-drop engines. It lost Nami, and it also lost Dedan. That literally leaves it with what? Like, it can still play Buggy or
Buggy
Izo,
and but
then it's... But then that leaves them dead with only one drop or one 4-drop Marco and one 5-drop Marco.
Yeah.
Like, what else are they searching? They can't really search anything else. And like, what are they gonna play instead? Like, Meet Up in 2 years, I think it was. Searches of Stryat.
Yeah. Salo, the Archipelago.
Yeah, like they can maybe get that, but they've lost the body Nami provided. They'd actually have to play an actual game plan now. Like they can't even search their Zoros or their Luffys. They can't, they've lost so much in just losing Nami and Dedan here. Like they can't even search. Gordon's like their whole 1-drop and 2-drop persona is gone.
It is.
Like they're gonna actually have to change the entirety of the deck and how it plays. And the problem is it's gonna suffer. Like the whole thing that makes it like good is gone now. And then, like, Law also lost access to, if it still plays Dedan, because I know some builds still play Dedan, and they've lost Nami, which is really strong for them. Like, their only searchers are now Bonnie, and Bonnie misses, man. I see Bonnie explode a lot of the time.
Well,
and
I
it's
mean,
like, the one I never see usually bomb is the Nami search.
Well, I was going to say,
like,
Bonnie may not be whiffing, because... Now that they're not running Nami, they're probably not going to be running as many Straw Hats.
You're right.
A lot more
right.
Supernova targets.
I think they're just going to be playing a film build at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the only of the big three that has any potential to keep being viable is Law.
Just in Law's innate good ability. Like, yeah, 100%.
There's always so much. Yeah, you could do with that later. I do think maybe he'll try to pivot into film or something. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is there. If any of them do come out, I don't think any of them do, but if any of them were to, it would be Law.
I'm for sure it's going to be Law. Like, the fact is, nobody's experimented with Law past what it is right now.
Yeah.
Just strictly because there was no need to. There was no need to innovate whatsoever. But now you have to innovate. You have to do something different.
There is a bunch of 1-drop weenie support that maybe Zoro will try to play, that because he just never had to before, was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, you know, the Dogura that cheats out the 1-drops.
True.
I think there's like a Garp that like plays 1-drop on play. They
can. What's the other guy that the Newgate deck was? No, he was playing that. He's a Whitebeard pirate.
2K.
Yes, there was him, and then there was also the one they're already playing, the one that has the Arrested Dawn to him, or add Arrested Dawn to one of your characters. I forgot that Whitebeard pirate's name.
I know the 2-drop.
The 2-drop, but they also can put in those other little 2-drops Whitebeard has been getting.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that's how I see Zoro still moving forward.
Right.
But it's just a massive hindrance to them now. They can't just play searcher, who grabs more searchers, then swing with those searchers. And they don't care if they lose those 1-drops. Now they're actually going to have to care if they lose these 1-drops.
They will. Because that's what I was going to say too, because a big part of a big part of Zoro's degeneracy was that all his cards grabbed more cards. If you can gas Zoro out though, that matchup, it would be like playing against OPO1 Zoro, and he was not that, like, he was a good deck, but he wasn't the problem that he became all of a sudden in, I'd say even OPO3. I think OPO3 is where they really broke that leader and made him stupid. I do think there is a reality too where maybe Law switches to maybe, I don't know, like playing Whitebeard, like the little guy we were just talking about, who minus his 2k because he's a cheap body that does something.
I can't remember his name. I just know he's a Whitebeard pirate.
I can't either, but
didn't it start with like a B or something?
I don't remember, but they could potentially pivot into like running stuff like running Ezo and searching at like that and Vista again. Because remember they did play with Vista for a little bit.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, so they could start running into like a power manipulation kind of thing, running Jet Pistol again. They're like Law could potentially do something. They're that leader ability, playing with 13 Dawn, that'll never be bad. There has to be something that they can do with that, but
oh yeah, 100%. That's why I'm like, if anybody's gonna make something out of this, it's gonna be Law.
It's gonna be
like Law. Just it did lose 2 of its very important little drops that it recycles constantly,
right?
But it still can do something about it. It can still put something in those places, or just completely change the build. Like actually innovate now. Like it can actually try that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just saying it can. It actually has the.
I think that there's
It can
ever a leader that
attempt to
can.
innovate.
It's Law. I think
The on attack minus DK is Blamenko, and then the Whitebeard Pirates Nami is Haruto.
we also do have to
Yes.
take into consideration too, like, because there were colors just being kept in check. Because like we mentioned Kinemon, but realistically, like green as a whole was kept in check by red, and so was purple. So with all the best red decks being killed off or heavily gimped, there are just other colors as a whole that can finally see play at this point. God, I was gonna say, and
It's
also
truly tragic. Like we're getting the. I just thought about this. We have the Namis that are coming in the starter deck 10, and then we also have the Zeus Namis, and now those are banned, and that's absolutely tragic.
that is tragic. That is devastating. Boy, Zeus finally gonna see some play. This is what they do to him. I think that Law. God, I don't know. I am optimistic for him. He is a leader I never really do want to see die, is the thing, because
He's a skill leader.
he's only good in the hands of good players, is the thing.
True.
So
Oh yeah, for sure. Like he's a skill-intensive player or skill-intensive leader that the player who's using it built a perfect deck for them, and it works, and they have to play perfectly.
Yeah.
That's why I also do not want to see him go, because that shows you who the best players are right then
Law
and
was
there.
the one top tier leader that was actually still entertaining to watch.
Oh yes, for sure.
Like Whitebeard and Zoro were fucking miserable to watch. Whitebeard players like watching Whitebeard, I guess, but outside of that, nobody else did. Zoro, I don't think anybody liked watching Zoro. I don't think Zoro players like watching Zoro, but Law was that one, like, you could always appreciate the amount of thought and effort and everything that just went into Laws making their plays and everything, so us losing Law, I think, is actually a very big, because also, too, like, Law, because he was so skill-dependent, he was, like, a leader that was going to dominate, like, a meta and everything like that, but he was never really a leader that, like, the actual casual should ever have to complain about, because they were never playing against the best Law players, was the thing.
True.
You know?
Like when you played against a good Law player, you were like, damn, he had it. He had this going for him.
Yeah.
He had this. Like I respect losing to a good Law player just for the fact is he thought at least 2-3 turns ahead of me and what he needed to do to win.
Yeah, because you just have to think too, like just the average Law player at a local isn't even that great, you know? So like most casual players will go to a local, and even if they do play against a Law, it's probably not even one of the good ones. So there isn't realistically nobody should be like celebrating Law dying, is the thing. I think Law dying is actually pretty toxic.
Oh yes, for sure. I going back to what you said, like watching a Law match, I love watching Law matches just because like you can sit there and go like, okay, in this situation I'd probably do this and that and this, and then they do something completely different and you're like, oh my god, I didn't even see that line of play.
Yeah.
It's actually something very good to watch. And you can see how good you are by figuring out the lines of play watching it.
Yeah, like even if you're a casual player, you're going to your local, and if you're losing to Law, if you're losing to a good Law player, then you probably were supposed to lose that anyway. That just means you're losing to the better player, and that's realistically how card games should be decided. The better player should be winning. But like whereas Zoro and Whitebeard, people could make the argument that like those leaders could carry you or something like that. Law would never carry you is the thing. So I really do hope that they figure something out. I do hope the Law players, I do feel for them, and I do hope that they can come out of this with something. But
I will say there are other people in our competitive testing server that I'm just reading chat while we are talking here. There's people that have in-person regionals that they have travel plans for.
Yeah.
That on November 11th is a regional, an in-person regional.
Oh
that all
my
these people play
God.
And it goes into play on the 10th, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Those
Oh
come back
my-
the day before the
That's
regional.
fucked. That is so
So they
fucked.
have to do testing all over again or try to cancel their travel plans and get a refund.
That
It's
is
just
fucked. Oh my
absolutely
god.
insane. They would just drop this.
Even if they were going to, you would think they would at least drop it the day after, at the very least, to not dig on the players that have financially invested in this.
It's crazy because like that, like there is literally one a day after the list is crazy because they know, like Bandai knows what's happening, what events they have planned. This
They
should have been
do.
in between a week of an event or something. Like this should have been like, hey, we're giving you a 2 weeks notice before this next event.
Yeah.
This is happening.
Because even like with the notice we have, it's 9-day notice. Actually, it's the second at the time of this recording. So it's a week and a day of notice. That is actually absurd. They basically gave players, they're like, you have a week to figure it out. That's terrible.
And the fact that there's people who've been playtesting for months to get
That's
ready for
fucked.
this thing.
That's so
And
terrible.
it's like you need to change your deck. If you're playing Whitebeard, you need to change your deck.
Yeah,
if you're playing
you don't have a
Zoro, you
choice.
need to change your deck. If you're playing Law, you have to figure out what you can do to replace those 2 cards you've just lost. And like it's again, you need to change your deck. Like the top 3 decks are basically completely
Yeah,
different now.
So I was gonna say,
One's gone entirely. One's mostly dead.
because I was gonna say the law list changes a lot more than just 2 cards too. Is the thing, because like one of those cards that it lost searched most of that deck, so you might not even run
Exactly.
that engine anymore. Is the thing, like losing searchers is devastating. You don't even lean as heavy into 1-drops anymore now. Red 1-drop specifically, like Law. I think Law you have to build it from the ground up all over again. That deck it's a
think
brand new deck.
Their 1-drops were actually like just good cards in general, like Otama, Makino, Nami, who's now gone, and Chopper.
That's true.
So those were the 4 they played mostly. I know mostly, and with the Dan gone, you have no reliable way to get to those cards anymore.
That is
you
true.
have like you can't get them, and now that Nami's gone, you've lost. You had the Dan and Nami who could grab Chopper,
Yeah.
which was great. You can no longer grab Chopper at any point now.
Yeah.
You have no means of digging for
Not
Chopper.
body archipelago.
Yes, but that's not a body. The thing is, you got a body.
Yeah, it doesn't
from
turn on
these two.
shambles.
For effect. You can't get effect.
You can't
now.
spend Dawn on an
Like-
event in Law. You just isn't happening. It's a Dawn wasted in
Like
shambles.
the thing about it is like I can play 1 Dawn for Nami, and now I'm one creature closer to leader ability.
Yeah.
But with Archipelago, you get your guy, but you're no closer to your
yeah, I don't think you do. I
your field.
really do think they lean Izo and
I was
they
about
try
to
to
say
make that
more.
work.
What if they could lean into Momonosuke?
They could.
They could. Ah, that
they
package
easily
isn't even
could-
worth it though, is the thing. 'Cause none of the bodies, like, the most they do on play is like tap something. So
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. And plus they're
So if
all
they
also
could
pretty
be-
expensive too.
You could go for Momonosuke, which would probably give you Okiku and probably
Because we're looking at
So-
we're officially looking at 3 drops and higher is the thing. Whereas Nami was grabbing like Brook 2K for example. It only cost 2, and it refunded itself even. You know, so you've lost that. You
Yes.
lost Chopper, which was a 1-cost body you would stick on the board. Like you had a searcher that searched tiny bodies that would also help you get closer to shambles.
Also, you've lost out on searching just your Straw Hats in general. Like you can't get Straw Hats anymore.
You've also lost your 1 radical. Now you have to see the radical beam. You have to draw into it.
You have to, yes. You
have to draw into
the
it. If you are ever searching, if you ever see it off a search, it's getting bottom decked.
Yeah, because Archipelago only grabs characters, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't even search Radical Beam anymore.
Radical Beam has to-
Basically, it comes out of the deck. Like, it's unsearchable.
No, I think you
it's a
still
one-up
play
you
it.
have to draw. Really?
Yeah, of course. That card is amazing. I think it's a card you want to see it. It's unfortunate now that you can't just grab it when you need it. But it's a card that's always good to have. You never feel bad having the Radical Beam in hand, is the thing.
So, like, Bonnies can still grab 5-drop Luffy's. It can still grab Zoro. It can get the 2-drop killer blocker, so that can be your Chopper replacement, even though it's green.
Bro.
It's still fucking your color. But
It would not surprise me if Law leaned into playing fucking like veggies and killer blockers to sit behind 8-drop Kid.
true.
It would not surprise
True.
me one bit. That also does mean though that like just green as a color is now they're probably viable again.
Yeah,
so,
Kinemon might be wild now.
yeah, Kinemon could be nuts. We might be seeing Odin just swinging on shit moving forward. We could potentially see Kid leader again, just being
true.
a force. Maybe Kaido will finally be playable again. Who knows?
Who knows? I'm cooking up a Blurple Kaido right now. You never know.
I do think Blurple Kaido is a lot better with this list. Because he doesn't really lose. He didn't really lose to any, or like the decks that got hit weren't like problem decks for him or anything. But I do think that those decks did keep in check, like Black, for example. And I'm sure he appreciates like Black no longer running around like you can't just 9-drop with a Borsalino on the board.
True.
So,
but you still can 10-drop Blue Kaido.
Yeah, with his ass. So I don't know. It's a list where like I am excited to see how the game evolves and like adapts to this. But God, do I feel bad for like the players that are affected by this because this is good for casual players. This is good for just your average run-of-the-mill player. But for the players that were like dumping money into this game, like investing in travel and everything, fuck, do I feel bad for them. That is terrible. I think regardless of how you feel about like anything, like how you feel about Whitebeard players and Zoro players, like there are people losing hundreds as a result of this, you know? So
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's just if you are a human with any amount of empathy whatsoever, you feel bad for them. Bro, what's Ninebeard at?
I'm currently checking out the prices of
what's
cards.
Ninebeard? Has he gotten lower?
Ninebeard he hasn't gone down yet. Like he's still at a good like 49 or 40 or 60 64.99 right now. I fear all these cards are going to start plummeting in price. Like I've seen LOL, he was one just got posted for 250.
God.
And there's one on here. The one I remember seeing was his lowest one was like 275. I refreshed the page. There's now a 250 on here.
So leaders that could potentially cook as a result of this.
What?
We do have leaders that could potentially start cooking as a result of all this. There is Yellow Big Mom.
Yes.
There is Green Kid.
Yes.
There is Yellow Green Arlong.
Stop. Look, Yellow Green Arlong only wins if it high rolls as hard as possible. Like I've been rolled to the point where every damage was out of them was a cracker or a oh my god, the other guy. Smooth. It was just all the guys that come out of life.
Ivankov.
And no. There are two better blue decks to play, and then after the two better blue decks,
Dofi! This is
Dofi.
great for Dofi.
No,
Oh my god.
No, it isn't. Yellow.
Oh, Yellow, you're right. I keep looking at the
Oh.
one side and then forgetting the result of it.
Look, Yellow is going to
I was about to say,
explode.
Dofi loved running into red.
Yeah, you're right.
But like Yellow is going to explode now. Everybody who was playing Whitebeard because it was best deck in format are 100% jumping ship to Yellow.
They are. Kinemon could potentially love this. Mono Red Luffy, I fucking love you, but my god, you're gone. You're even more gone than you already were. Well, I don't... Why didn't they give him back Ninebeard? I'm so upset he didn't get Ninebeard back. The only leaders that would have made any use out of him, it would have just been him, honestly. Maybe Kuro could do something. There are both Kaidos. Garp.
Shut up.
There's Z.
We all know Yellow's about to shoot through the roof. Like
Wallow
it's
Queen.
going to go crazy.
Vivi.
Get out of here.
Stop.
Pello, maybe Pello Croc.
Yerple.
Yerple Croc. We already talked about Isho.
You're just going down leaders.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at like what leaders could potentially have benefited from this.
I'm ready to cook with Purple Boy in OPO5 with Iceberg.
Stop.
Oh yeah,
There is no cooking with iceberg.
bro.
It'll
5-drop
be
Kid
a
Blocker is kind
The
of
food
stupid.
has burnt.
God, I wonder how insane Green Purple Dopey becomes as a result of this list.
I
He
totally
just won a region.
God, how did I forget about him?
Green Purple Dofi.
What's his yellow
actually is
matchup look like?
Fucking insane.
What's yellow?
I don't know.
What's Dofi's matchup against?
I don't
yellow?
know how his matchup in the yellow is, so.
Hold on, I think I have this.
I don't remember.
Chart. I literally have this one.
I'm pretty
saved. This
sure
one
I
have
think he
saved.
wins it, but I don't remember.
His yellow matchup is. Ooh, it's looking like a 40% win rate.
Ooh. Alrighty.
I'm telling you, I think yellow might just take over this.
What were
form.
Dofi's Green Purple Dofi's red matchups looking like based off that chart?
Green Purple Dofi's red matchup is it had a 41% against Whitebeard,
Okay,
it
so
had a
that's good.
35% against Law, and it had a 35% against Zoro. It lost 3 of its worst matchups.
It lost
just now.
it lost 3 of its worst matchups. One of them is going to be a lot more prevalent, but I don't know. I do think there probably is a world where you just build Green Purple Dofi to win that matchup. Is the thing.
Yes, 100%.
So
yes.
I don't know. I think it's the conversation. I think it probably will be between Katakuri and Green Purple Dofi. I don't think because Rebecca lost one of her best matchups also. Actually, so she's lost Zoro and she's lost Law.
Yeah.
I think Rebecca.
Her worst matchup is
The meta.
her worst matchups are Croc, Blue Croc, and Katakuri. Like there are her worst matches at 20%.
Yeah, that's bye Rebecca. I think the conversation is definitely between Katakuri and Green Purple Dofi. I will say because I do think Green Purple Dofi is the more consistent leader, so I hope he comes out the one on top. Because Katakuri, like I feel like that deck lives and dies with 10 drop is the thing. So I don't know. I think I think Green Purple Dofi. I want to say I think he'll be the new best deck. I really want him to be so that I can play Purple Crocodile. Cause fuck, I don't want it to be Katakuri. I really don't.
I'm sorry, but it's looking like it's gonna be
It's gonna be
Katakuri. But
what are Katakuri? I see. What are Katakuri's matchups looking like on there for?
So 40% against Whitebeard.
Well, I mean,
35%.
what's unaffected? What's still around?
Oh, it has a 60% against Green Purple Dofi. It has a 51% against Blue Croc, and then it has a 70% against Rebecca.
So he has no bad matchups.
He has no bad matchups.
Oh my god.
He has no bad matchups.
Oh my god.
His bad matchups are gone.
Oh my god.
He might just become the best deck.
Well, okay, wait, and then finally, what are Mono Crocs?
Mono Croc, it's got a 48% win rate against Katakuri, which
That's not terrible, honestly.
It's not terrible, but like in my experience, I don't know. Maybe I'm not playing the best
You are
Katakuri
playing
player.
You're playing
down.
info down, that's true.
I am. My build is to beat that. That's the whole thing. Like my build is to just get over yellow like that. We did lose because we won our Law matchup, which is gone, but those don't matter. We have a 57 against Purple Green Dofi, and then we have a 70% against Rebecca. Like
Yeah.
our only quote bad matchup is Katakuri, but it's really not that bad.
I don't know.
Everything else we beat.
It might be.
They're literally, I feel like the Croc and the Katakuri will be battling it out for top spot.
Bro, I really
While
don't.
Dofi will also be in there fighting. Like
That's because what bad matchup does Green Purple Dofi have besides yellow that's still around?
that's it.
Exactly.
It also loses to green. It also loses to Crocodile.
God.
Dofi green. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think
Okay.
Croc and Katakuri might be the best 2 decks in the format now, while Green Purple Dofi and Rebecca are picking it up in the
All
back.
right. I need one of the other leaders who've been freed from their shackles. I need like Z
I
to start
see.
cooking.
I want
Chris,
Kinemon
you gotta
to
cook with Garp. Kinemon?
Garp is unsalvageable. I've been
I
trying.
think-
I just can't. Oh my god.
I think Nick's right with Kinemon thing. I think you're both right with the Kinemon
Yeah.
thing. I think he can come back using some of the film stuff and
I don't-
just
No,
I don't know. I don't know.
That fucker,
Honestly, I don't know.
he puts Odin on the board, it gets red rocked, it's over.
That's the scary part. That's the scary part. You will be dealing with queen. Whoa, this chart does not have queen on it. I just realized that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this chart does not have queen on it.
That's crazy.
It just won a region. I don't know how it's not on this chart.
Yeah, it's wild. I do think too, 'cause I do think Blelo Queen also, because it hated like the Zoro matchup, for example. And
Oh
it
yes,
lost
it
that.
hated the Zoro matchup. It lost that. I don't know its law matchup too well.
It was bad.
We'd have. Oh, it's bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
Brandon
my
said
God.
that matchup's fucking abysmal.
Oh my goodness.
If I'm
that means
remembering
wins
correctly.
now.
Yeah.
No, you're
So
right.
Blelo Queen could also potentially be in that conversation.
I believe Blelo Queen is in that conversation for sure. But is Blelo Queen going to be able to win? I don't think Blelo Queen wins against Katakuri straight. I think it loses to the yellow part of its of Katakuri.
Well, I don't know if the whole thing is.
If they, I don't know, because I'm thinking back to back Big Moms,
But
and now
it's-
they have to deal with these 12 swings.
Yeah, because you have to remember they were like already, because they were the one leader where like Big Mom essentially just comes out, she says heal one, because that was the one deck where she takes a life off them, he just heals it back anyway.
That's true.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm curious to see how this all plays out. My eyes are on Z. I do want to see what he does. If he can't do it now,
I
he'll
think
never
Z-
do it.
I think Z's viable.
I think
But
so.
I think he still would have a terrible blue matchup just for the fact is the moment you put down your 10 drop Kuzan and you're playing against blue, it's red rocked.
We should make a
he's
prediction
already-
tier list. I think maybe tomorrow or something. We should do a new
Oh, yeah, I'm
list
down for that.
where we think everything will fall. And I'm just so curious to see how this. We'll have to create a new tier actually.
Oh,
Band tier.
we're doing a tier list. We're doing a tier list. We
We'll
can
have
do
to
this.
band tier and it'll just be Whitebeard. God, hopefully Nami soon. When I saw Nami on the list, I thought it was the leader. I was so excited for a second.
I think people are gonna be so furious. They're just gonna cheese with Nami at this point.
Yeah, I think so.
Like I feel a great deal of people are gonna be upset that they lost Whitebeard. Zoro's been nerfed, and they can't do Law because they don't want to figure out something new with it. They're just gonna cheese with Nami because I know some people are already doing that. They're like, I'm just gonna play Nami and mess people's records up.
You want to
for
weigh
sure.
in whatsoever, Nick, before we close this one out?
No, I think I've said my piece. I'm not a fan of this list. I think it's bullshit.
Alrighty. Oh, then with that one being said, until next time, we'll see you guys.
Later.
Bye.